It's time for a camera comparison between the Galaxy S25 Ultra and the vivo X200 Pro. The vivo X200 Pro performed well against the Honor Magic 7 Pro in one of my previous camera comparisons, and now we will see if Samsung's flagship can surpass it. I'll be using the default vivid mode on the vivo X200 Pro, but I've also included a comparison of the other profiles for you to examine side by side. Let's begin. The first observation is that the S25 Ultra's ultra-wide lens is significantly wider than the vivo's. On the other side, the X200 Pro produces a noticeably brighter image. This remains consistent with the main lens, while the Samsung achieves similar brightness only at 2x zoom. The colors are also quite similar. Next we have the telephoto lenses, 3x on the Samsung and 3.7x on the vivo. The S25 Ultra performs adequately, but the X200 Pro, in my opinion, delivers a superior looking image. While the Samsung has a second optical lens with its 5x periscope, I still prefer the vivo's overall aesthetic. At 10x, the vivo continues to produce a more appealing image, showing no real advantage for the S25 Ultra. At 30x, the Samsung shows the background more realistically, while the vivo's image appears overly processed, despite the main subject looking better. These ultra-wide shots are very similar. The S25 Ultra offers a wider field of view and the vivo produces a slightly bluer sky. Zooming in on the green sign reveals the vivo's sharper image and more vibrant colors. At 2x, both brighten the image and the vivo's telephoto lens produces a more vivid result. The colors become even more pronounced at 5x, and at 10x, the vivo again delivers a superior output. At the maximum 100x zoom, the vivo easily takes the win. Let's zoom in on the black sheep, enjoying the sunny morning just as I did. Both ultra-wide lenses are again very similar, but the vivo's main lens captures more detail. The vivo also brightens the image more at 2x, revealing additional details. The vivo's telephoto lens is preferable. Both perform well at 5x, but the vivo's 10x shot is more detailed. At 30x, the vivo's image may look better, but it exhibits significant overprocessing and sharpening. While the sky looks nearly identical, the vivo's ultra-wide lens produces a brighter image. Zooming in on the board all the way to 100x shows the vivo consistently delivering punchier colors. Up to 10x, both phones perform well in terms of image quality. At 30x, the vivo captures a better shot with more detail and clearer text. The same is true at 100x, where the text on the vivo remains more readable than on the S25 Ultra. Another zoom to the maximum. The sun is shining directly, affecting the image quality as we zoom in. The vivo handles this better, almost eliminating the glare, while the S25 Ultra's output appears weird. However, the X200 Pro struggles with the cast color, rendering it bluish with the 3.7x telephoto lens, despite its actual grey tone, which it correctly displays in the other images. At 30x, the vivo has the edge again, but the 100x output offers a little improvement in readability. Now let's examine the vivo's different profiles. Alongside vivid, we have textured and size natural, or how we would call it size in German. Comparing these to the S25 Ultra, the natural style is the closest. Vivid is the brightest, while textured offers a richer contrast. With the main lens, the natural mode remains the closest, while the textured mode approaches the vivid profile. At 2x, the S25 Ultra looks dull compared to even the natural style. The textured and vivid style diverge further. Switching to the telephoto lens reveals significant differences across all of vivo's modes, especially textured, while the S25 Ultra maintains a consistent look. Moving to 10x, the Samsung falls behind in overall quality, and the vivo's 3 modes become less distinct. This becomes even more pronounced at 30 and 100x. Now let's take a look at selfies. The S25 Ultra's colors are slightly oversaturated, particularly on my code. but the image quality is superior. The vivo X200 Pro's image appears too soft with noticeable face smoothing, despite beauty mode being disabled as always. Activating portrait mode confirms these observations. Both struggle with separating me from the background though, with the S25 Ultra mistakenly unblurring a tree branch behind me, confusing it with my hair. Something that happens actually quite often in my comparisons. Overall, the Samsung captures better front-facing camera shots. Staying with the portrait mode, we will now use the rear cameras. The X200 Pro offers 5 zoom options for the portrait. The S25 Ultra produces better colors than with the front camera, but the Vivo remains more accurate. Both phones capture good shots. We will use the S25 Ultra's 2x and the Vivo's 35mm option here. Now sticking with the Samsung's 2x, and we will use now the Vivo's 50mm, both capture excellent portraits. Switching to the telephoto lenses for portrait mode, the Vivo delivers sharper details. Comparing the Samsung's 5x optical lens to the Vivo's 135mm, both are strong, but I would still give the edge to the Vivo. Before we examine the video modes, please consider subscribing if you found this video valuable until now. I'm finally outside again after being sick for a week and a half, shooting in 4K with 30 frames per second, using the front-facing cameras. You can see that both have pretty much the same field of view here, and of course we also can't zoom out but zoom in on the Vivo. The S25 Ultra doesn't let us do anything in this regard. It's a beautiful, still cold but sunny morning here. Slowly the winter is departing, hopefully for good. Colors look a little bit punchier on the vivo X200 Pro. But they do look also more realistic, honestly. I can compare this orange sign here. It's like a little bit more realistic on the vivo X200 Pro. Now I'm shooting in 4K using the main lenses. Let's go to the ultra wides now first of all. Let's walk down this path here. And we have some ducks. Zoom in on them one time. 1x, 2x, 3, 5, 10, 20. Ultra wide. 1x, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20. The S25 Ultra also has this smooth zoom wheel for smoother zooming, which works actually quite well. And now do the same for the Vivo with the ultra wide. 1x, 2x, 3.7, 10x. And also 20x is the maximum zoom here while recording videos. And zoom in like this. So both are doing a good job while zooming. Go one time here to the maximum zoom. And now I'm recording in 4K with 60 frames per second. The picture on the Vivo looks a little bit more authentic, honestly, because this place has this grass. There's frost on this, so there's a little white layer. You can see it a bit on the Samsung, but the Vivo shows it more authentic in my eyes. Let's walk over this bridge here. It's hard to really say which are more realistic now, because it seems to be quite down the middle between them. There are areas where the Samsung looks more realistic and areas where the Vivo is doing a better job. Both phones have portrait video as an option for the front and back, and if you don't know what this video mode does, it gives to you a background blur, just like on the portrait photos, but just for the videos, cinematic look, some would say. And on the Vivo we can change the strength of the book here as well, but this we can just do while this we can just do before recording, so maybe on time. So now it's on f2.0, which is the strongest we can pick. So you can see also the background is blurred now more. Both seem to be doing a good job. The colors look a little bit warmer on the vivo X200 Pro. We also have multiple different filters to choose from. I have none activated, of course, for this comparison. Now, for example, I activated one which is called Warm Time. You can see the colors look different. And another thing is that on the S25 Ultra we can record with 4K and 30 frames per second, while the vivo X200 Pro limits us to 1080p using the portrait video mode. So if you want to have higher quality with this mode, the S25 Ultra is the way to go. But the best way anyway to use this mode is to use it with the rear cameras. Now I'm using the portrait videos with the main lenses. I stretch my arm a bit, hopefully both have me in the focus properly, and obviously I can't now see anything, judge anything, so hopefully both are doing a good job. No idea how they are recording now, how close I can get to be in focus. Time for low light shots. While both phones have dedicated night modes, we will primarily use auto mode. The S25 Ultra's ultra-wide shot is brighter, but neither is impressive. The main lenses perform much better, with the Vivo delivering a clearer, more detailed image. At 2x, the Samsung produces a noisier shot and struggles with the lights. The Vivo's telephoto lens again delivers a sharper, more detailed shot, and the S25 Ultra's 5x lens can't surpass it, though it produces a good image. The 10x shots are quite close in quality. The S25 Ultra's ultra-wide shot is again slightly brighter, but the Vivo's main lens and 2x shots are more balanced. The X200 Pro's telephoto lens offers more details, less noise, and better light handling, and the same applies at 5x. The Samsung continues to produce brighter ultra-wide shots, but the Vivo's main lens shot is superior, particularly in the sky. Both 2x shots are good, with the Vivo's being slightly brighter and colder. The telephoto shots are also good, but the Vivo offers more detail overall. The same can be said for the S25 Ultra's 5x periscope lens versus the vivo's 5x zoom. At 10x, the Samsung suffers from significant noise. At 30x, neither phone produces a great shot, but the X200 Pro has a clear advantage. The vivo X200 Pro's ultra-wide shot is poor, with off colors and low image quality. The vivo's colors shift significantly with the main lens, but the Samsung colors also are getting warmer. Quality-wise, the vivo is ahead, but the 2x shots are comparable. The vivo's telephoto lens easily surpasses the Samsung, but this is happening because the Samsung is deciding which lens to use. Even if you click on 3x or 4x, it doesn't mean that the lenses are used. So sometimes, like here, the main lens will be used for a 3x or even a 5x shot. But the 5x periscope lens was used here and it still falls short of the vivo's output. Here, the vivo's ultra-wide shot again exhibits the same issues. The image has a greenish yellowish tint. The vivo's main lens again delivers a much better shot, but the S25 Ultra lags behind. Both have a lot of noise in the sky, which worsens on the Samsung at 2x. At 3x, the S25 Ultra again uses its main lens, resulting in a very poor shot, while the telephoto lens of the vivo captures a really good image. The 5x shot taken with the correct lens is good, but I still prefer the X200 Pro. At 10x, both are close. We will now examine this area using the auto mode, followed by night mode with a side-by-side comparison. The vivo performs better than before and handles the shop lights better than the S25 Ultra. This remains an issue with the main lens, and overall, I slightly prefer the vivo shot. While the S25 Ultra's 2x shot is good, it again has more noise. This again gets worse at 3x, even with the telephoto lens in use this time, which improves the image quality though. However, it doesn't match the quality of the vivo's telephoto lens. The 5x periscope lens doesn't improve anything, and the vivo easily wins at both 5x and 10x. Now the same area using the night mode. The first thing the night mode did is to remove the buzz, which is impressive. However, the S25 Ultra still overexposes the lights, and this remains an issue with the main lens. The zoomed in shots are still superior from the X200 Pro. Now the side-by-side comparison. With the ultra-wide lens, there's little difference to note on the Samsung, but the vivo is a bit brighter in night mode. With the main lens, however, even this difference disappears. The S25 Ultra's 2x shot is a lot better compared to its auto mode counterpart, with more detail and less noise. The same improvement is observed at 3x on the Samsung, while the vivo remains consistent between both modes. At 5x and 10x, the S25 Ultra shows slight improvements in night mode, but to a lesser extent. This area was almost pitch black, and the vivo produces a very bright and oversaturated image. While the S25 Ultra has more noise, the image is preferable in my eyes. The main lens tells a different story, with the vivo excelling and leaving the S25 far behind. The vivo also looks better at 2x, but the difference isn't as dramatic. Zooming in further doesn't yield good results from either phone, with the Samsung having a slight edge. One more test before we will look at selfies. The Samsung wins the ultra-wide shot, while the vivo again captures a much better main lens shot. The S25 Ultra delivers a sharper image at 2x, and the telephoto shots are very close. The vivo looks cleaner at 5x and better overall at 10x zoom. Now for lowlight selfies. The X200 Pro is slightly more detailed, but the S25 Ultra's colors are more accurate. However, the shots can be inconsistent, as shown by this particularly poor one from the S25 Ultra. Using portrait mode, we see the same characteristics as before, but with a pleasing bokeh effect. Standing near a light source, both phones capture good images, but the Samsung excels. And now for rear camera portrait mode. I was shooting alone, so the pictures were taken on a tripod and not handheld. For some reason the Samsung keeps the sign in focus next to me, but otherwise both do a really good job. The Samsung's issue with selecting the correct lens, regardless of the user's choice, also happens in portrait mode. This 3x shot was taken with the main lens, while the next one used the actual telephoto lens, resulting in a much better looking picture. Now it's time for the night videos. I'm shooting in 4K with 30 frames per second. Front-facing cameras here. And both are really not looking great here, which is mostly the case with front-facing cameras, but the vivo now with more light looks much better in my eyes from the preview here. Now the S25 Ultra is catching up. This light has some yellow tint, so keep this in mind. Now I'm approaching another light there which has some reddish color, but overall the X200 Pro seems to be brighter. Now another light source. As I said, this light has some red vibe, and probably the S25 Ultra is doing a better job. Now I'm shooting in 4K with 60 frames per second using the front-facing cameras. Now this area is a little bit darker here. Let's walk through here. But generally the vivo is brighter, but the picture looks very, very noisy. The picture on the S25 Ultra also has a lot of noise, but vivo seems to be doing a worse job with this. And now standing in front of a white light source here, finally no yellow or red, and yeah, both are improving of course a lot, but the vivo looks better. The picture looks noisier now on the S25 Ultra actually. So yeah, the vivo X200 Pro is generally just brighter while recording. Okay, the light is here now coming from the side here, falling on me. Now let's face the lamp again. I feel also that the colors look better on the vivo. Like the S25 Ultra is crushing the blacks almost. After reviewing the footage on a larger screen, the S25 Ultra's quality is noticeably inferior. The vivo clearly performs better here. I'm now recording in 4K with 60 frames per second, and the picture on the vivo is a lot brighter. It is brighter than what I can see with my eyes. The S25 Ultra is a bit darker than reality, but seriously, it looks more authentic. Like the cars here, for example, they're all very easily visible on the vivo, while some are hard to make out on the S25 Ultra. This all, of course, just by judging what I can see on the screens here. It's always go to the ultra wide, then of course the vivo is getting darker also with this lens. Back to the 1x. So while we're here with some good light, let's try out the portrait video mode. There's always a mode which requires more light, so the picture looks much better here on the vivo X200 Pro with enough light. Let's just move away from the light. The picture on the S25 Ultra is really suffering in quality now. We get a lot of noise here, but the vivo X200 Pro has it as well, but it looks way better here. Now let's sometimes check the night zooming. We are on the ultra wide 1x, 2x, 3x, 5x, 10x and 20x. Can also use the smooth zoom wheel here. Backing up slowly and moving in again. And now the same for the Vivo. We're on the ultra wide 1x, 2x, 3.7, 10x and 20x. Zoom out and back in. And that concludes my camera comparison. The Vivo has the stronger zoom in my opinion, both during the day and at night. The S25 Ultra holds up well up to 10x and sometimes even at 30x, but beyond that the Vivo dominates. The Samsung however maintains a more consistent look across the different lenses, which the Vivo sometimes struggles with. At night the Vivo captures excellent shots with the main lens and produces good results even when zoomed in. The S25 Ultra is inconsistent, especially with the 3x shots, where it sometimes defaults to the main lens instead of the telephoto lens. While we can fix this with an extra app, I kept the default settings. The Vivo's main weakness is its front-facing camera. Selfies look better from the Samsung, and the same is true for front-facing videos. But what are your thoughts on this comparison? Let me know in the comments which phone is your winner. I'm already working on my camera comparison featuring these two phones, so look forward to it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.